Now we're going to talk about the part of bullying that most people get wrong, and because it's misunderstood, it often keeps the cycle alive, even when everyone's trying to stop it. Here's the truth that surprises most parents. The bully is very often a victim too. Now that doesn't mean the behaviour is acceptable at all. It doesn't mean it should be excused, and it doesn't mean your child should tolerate it. It means bullying is really born in isolation. In many of the cases I've worked with, most of the cases, and I mean thousands of cases, the bully is being bullied elsewhere. It's this flow of negative energy. They experience chaos at home. They're lacking status or control in another area of their life, or they're struggling with their own sense of worth. Bullying is often a transfer of pressure, of pain passed sideways or downward. Now this matters because when children believe a bully is all-powerful, fear grows. When they understand the bully is acting from insecurity, fear diminishes. And fear is what bullies feed on. Let me be very clear here. Empathy is not weakness. Empathy, when paired with strength, is disarming. I once worked with a 9-year-old boy who had been chronically bullied for 2 years. Name-calling, exclusion, relentless pressure. We worked through the first step of the not a victim system, which I'm going to guide you through entirely, which is the first P, which is perception. Not excuses, perspective. When the child realized the bully wasn't a monster, just a deeply insecure child, and they genuinely understood that, something shifted in that young boy. The intimidation collapsed. The fear in their mind dissolved. And the most remarkable thing happened. They went back to school, and with calm confidence, they stopped reacting. The bully lost power, and eventually that same child who was being bullied mentored their bully out of the behaviour, not through submission or aggression, but through emotional intelligence. Now, can you imagine the emotional intelligence a 9-year-old would have to have in order to do that? And that all starts with that one shift, one reframing of perspective. It doesn't happen because the child was nice. It happens because they are grounded. And this is what breaks cycles. Not shouting, not punishment, not zero tolerance posters, but inner stability. Let's talk about one of the most controversial statements parents struggle with. You may have heard it before, words don't hurt. And immediately people push back. Of course words hurt. Words can scar for life. So let me say this precisely, because language really matters. Words don't hurt by default. Meaning hurts. And meaning can be trained. When a child hears an insult, two things basically happen. The word is heard, and then the nervous system reacts. That reaction gives the word power. Bullies watch reactions very closely. They don't need fists, they don't need feedback. A flinch, a tear, a visible emotional shift, that's how they know they've landed something. Now, this is not about teaching children to suppress emotions. It's about teaching them emotional ownership. It's about teaching them you get to decide how deeply this goes. Now, that belief alone is profoundly empowering. When a child learns that they're not at the mercy of words, their confidence stabilizes. They stop being reactive, and reactivity is what keeps bullies engaged. Now, another uncomfortable truth is this. Bullying needs practice to overcome. Most parents talk, very few train. We explain what to say, we explain why bullies do what they do, we explain how our child should feel, but explanation without repetition doesn't create confidence. Think about anything your child is good at. They didn't become confident because someone explained it once. They practiced, they failed, they adjusted, and they practiced again. And bullying is no different. Responding calmly under pressure really is a skill. Holding eye contact is a skill. Using a steady voice is a skill. Walking away without collapse is a skill. Skills require reps. And this is why role play is so powerful and so underused, because it moves the learning from the head to the body. When the body knows what to do, panic reduces. Another truth parents struggle with is this. Everyone needs a safe space. And this is not about avoidance, it's about recovery. When a child is going through bullying, school becomes a high-stress environment. They need another place where they can rebuild identity, a place where they are respected. effort is rewarded, and challenges are structured, and progress is visible. Now, this could be sport, it could be martial arts, it could be drama, it could be music, a club with strong values. The activity matters less than the environment. The environment should say, you are capable, you belong, you can grow here. This balance is what's really, really critical for your child. We don't want to remove children from challenge entirely, we counterbalance it. Now, here's another truth that challenges a lot of modern messaging. Not all confidence comes from talking about feelings. Some confidence comes from doing hard things, from pushing the body, from learning discipline, from standing in discomfort and not collapsing. Emotional intelligence is important, but emotional strength is built through experience. When children experience themselves succeeding under pressure, confidence follows. And that confidence bleeds into school, into friendships, and into life. This is why I often say, you don't fix bullying by talking about bullying all the time. You fix it by building a child who no longer fits the victim pattern. And that doesn't happen accidentally. It happens through structure, through repetition, and through guidance. So, before we move on, I want you to pause for a moment and ask yourself honestly, have we been trying to stop the bully or strengthen the child? Again, no judgment. This is a question for your own awareness. Now, if this section has challenged how you thought about bullies, words, or empathy, subscribe now, because in the next section, we're going to move from truths and all the myths about bullying into action. I'm going to walk you through the step-by-step system of the 6-step not a victim system, of how to shift perception, how to change presentation through body language. And this is where parents usually see the first real changes. So, take a breath, because we're going to move on to the training right now. I just released a full no-fluff workshop breaking down everything I know about bullying, the uncomfortable truths, the mistakes that parents make, and the exact 6-step system that has helped thousands of children transition through bullying, the stuff that actually works. So, if your child is being bullied, or you want to make sure they never become a victim of bullying, then watch the full video. Make sure you subscribe, because this is the work that changes your child's life.